Hello, hello, hello. Okay, so I am going to share this video super fast. Give me a second. Hello everyone tonight, whoever joins in with us. Try and refresh my page so I can see it. I have 3 parties going on right now, so I am it's gonna take me a second to share these parties. Okay, here, I found it. We're going to share first in, hey Miss Natalie, how are you doing tonight? Okay, we're gonna share in 3 groups, so give me a second. I already have dinner semi going. I'll explain that in a second. Now I'm going blank. Okay, hey Kelsey. So we're going to share in Leanne's party. We're gonna post that. Then we're going to share this video. Hey guys. In Caitlin's party. All right, and then we have one more to share. Actually, I might share it in my personal group. I'm doing pretty good. It was a pretty stressful day. My kids were just, let's just say some of them need a break. They need a break from school because they're starting to get pretty disrespectful. So it was just an okay day. But I'm home now, so all good. Okay, and then I need to share in Lindsay's party post. And then I'm gonna share my timeline. Y'all are watching me while you're at work? Aren't y'all supposed to be working? Y'all mustn't be very busy. All right. Join me for dinner. I don't know if you guys can hear the sizzling in the back, but I am going to use my quick cooker tonight. If you don't know what a quick cooker is, it is Pampered Chef's version of a pressure cooker. I'm sure you've heard of all different types of pressure cookers. To be quite honest, when I first heard of a pressure cooker, I wanted one, but I was a little hesitant because I was like, how can you cook food so fast? That mustn't be right. And I had friends who said all these crazy things about how they sear meat and cook it and it could be frozen, and I was like, maybe I should try this. But then my husband was like, we are not spending that kind of money on a pressure cooker. Just cook the old-fashioned way. It tastes the same. And then Pampered Chef came out with one, and I got it for free because of consultant benefits. I earned it for free, and so now I have a pressure cooker. And I don't know if you guys can see here. Right now I am searing a roast. So I'm about to flip it, but on a pressure cooker, you have the ability to sear. I'll be able to soften my veggies, and then you will put the lid on and cook, and we'll talk about all that good stuff in just a second. Hey Lindsay and hey Leanne. So tonight we are cooking what could be holiday, I guess. My 3 parties going on right now are all holiday parties, and I'm trying to share things to help with the holidays. So the recipe I found was for a roast, and I know we do roast sometimes for Christmas, so I thought that would be good. And it's gonna have mashed potatoes and carrots with it. And then because we're using the quick cooker, which is a pressure cooker, we're gonna have some time on our hands, so I'm gonna show you how to make a easy, simple, no-bake dessert. So first, right now, we have our roast that is searing, and it has a few minutes before I have to flip it. So I'm gonna put this down so you guys can see what's going on. So what I'm going to do is chop up this onion for you, and I'm sure if you are watching my video and you've seen other of my videos, you've seen this product already. It is the food chopper. It is one of my best sellers. Really, I have so many customers who have had this thing for years, and customers that just bought it and love it, and it's because you chop veggies so easy. Like, I have this onion that's already peeled and chopped into a smaller, not like small pieces, but into a smaller cube. And let's put this in right there. You're just gonna put the chopper over it and pump the handle. And then I have nice minced onions. So if you've never seen this before, you can see you get nice little small chopped onions. I used to buy the already chopped onions, whether it was in the fresh section or the freezer section, and I save a ton of money this way. Let me flip my roast real fast. Use our tongs, they're gravity sensitive. Point them down and close them together and they will open. Otherwise, they will not open. I'm gonna flip our roast super fast and then come back and chop these. It is stuck. Give me a second. All right. Oh, there's a nice sear. I nailed some of the things. There's a nice sear on that. I call the mama tongs and the baby tongs. I love both of them. I use the little ones a lot. I don't use the big ones as often, but for like this, I needed the big ones to really get in there without getting the steam on my hands. So, great products. All right, so we have our onion. We're gonna finish chopping that up real fast. Like I was saying, I used to buy onions already chopped because I hate using a knife. Now this is a great knife. It's a utility knife, Pampered Chef, love it. But I hate taking the time to cut with an onion. And so, yes, no tears. That is such a good point, Leanne, because, I mean, my face is away from it. It's covered, and I'm just pumping the handle, and it goes so fast. Now, we have a few items that chop veggies, and this can chop nuts. It can chop mushrooms. It can chop more than just onions. It can chop, you can chop up fruit, anything that's not too, oops, let me flip that over. Sometimes if you have like a harder skin, like a bell pepper or like this onion did, you want to flip it the opposite way so it cuts into the flesh first and it doesn't just smush it. Like if you were chopping up, you were dicing tomatoes, bell pepper, or other types of peppers, and then it'll mince it up really well. So we have this nice onion that's been minced up, and this thing breaks down in pieces. It goes in the dishwasher. Easy, you rinse it off, throw it in the dishwasher, and you're good to go. Love the food chopper. So if you've never seen the food chopper, there you go. Great product. My neighbors had hers for like 15 years. All right, if you don't know much about Pampered Chef, if this is one of the first videos you watch me do, Pampered Chef has been around roughly 35-ish years, 34, 35 years, and their reputation definitely is what sells their products because there's great warranties. I mean, look how fast we cut all those onions. The flexible cutting mat, by the way, and it's just incredible. So I have the roast. I'm gonna turn you this way a little bit so you can see. I have our roast in here, but now I want to kind of soften my onions. So I'm going to take my roast out. It's been searing for 10 minutes. I want you guys to see that nice sear on there. This is about 2-pound chuck roast. And normally when I would make a chuck roast, I would put it in the crock pot, like to cook all day long. But, excuse me, I love this quick cooker and all the things you can do with it. Put a little broth in there. And I can sear my meat. I'm on the sear section right now, and I'll show you in a second where that is. But I can soften my onions, and then I'm gonna throw everything in here, and this roast is going to cook in 35 minutes. Like, that's incredible, guys. I don't know if you ever used a pressure cooker before, but I am just blown away by pressure cookers. Now, Pampered Chef took a while to come out with their own pressure cooker. I am not a pressure cooker guru. Like, I don't know much about the Instapot or any of those other ones. So I can't necessarily answer all your questions about how specifically it compares as working. I can definitely research it for you, but the benefits of the Pampered Chef pressure cooker are a few things. One, you get me along with it, so if you ever have any questions, you just text me, email me, whatever it may be, and I can definitely find the answer for you. Two, there's a lot more settings from what I hear from other consultants on here so that you can do a lot more, at least specifically helps you. It also comes with a book that gives you all the instructions on how long to cook certain foods, whether it's fresh or frozen. But then there's also accessories that you can get with it. You can make cheesecake in this thing, like you make desserts. There's a setting just for dessert. You can make all different types of things in this pressure cooker. I boiled eggs in this thing, and y'all, like, well, you don't necessarily boil eggs, but I made boiled eggs in here, and I cracked it, and it literally came apart in 2 shells. It was so simple. And I love roast too, but I hate how long it takes, and so it says 35 minutes, and then you also have to allow time for the pressure to release. This is about 10 minutes, so you could say give or take 45. I'm gonna at least start all of this for you guys, and then you might not see the very end on the video. I don't wanna make y'all sit around, but I will definitely post pictures. But before we get to all that, let's add some garlic to our onions. We have our garlic press, one of my favorite products. You've seen it before if you've watched my videos. If not, prepare to be amazed. We have a piece of garlic clove right here that's not peeled, and we're just gonna stick it in that press, and we're going to squeeze down. And I don't know if you saw from over there, but all of that garlic came out, and look at this. The peeling comes right off. So the recipe I'm using does not ask for garlic in the roast, but I'm a garlic lover, so I gotta add some. I'm gonna add a few more cloves in there. What's also great about a pressure cooker, or even a crock pot, or whatever you're using that cooks it, that's not on the stove, you don't have to stand over it. So the recipe that I'm using, I actually shared, if you're in the party for Leanne, Caitlin, or Lindsay, and you're watching, I shared this recipe whenever I posted about the quick cooker. It's called the something roasted herb roast, or I forgot exactly what it was called, but the roast itself is seasoned with thyme and oregano, so it has like some herbs with it. And all right, I think that's enough garlic. If you get garlic stuck on the side here, I don't know how well you guys can see it from how far it is, but there's this little, I call it a Barbie brush. You can slide it off. Really simple. And we're gonna use this again in a second, but so the recipe I shared, sorry, I go on bunny trails, y'all. It requires the accessory kit because you can cook your whole meal at one time in this thing. Now, I don't own the accessory kit. Why? I don't even know. I really need to get the accessory kit. But the accessory kit has a little like rack that goes in here. It also has a ceramic bowl. We're gonna stick our roast right back in here on top of our onions. I'm gonna put some broth. This is chicken broth, but it's all good. And I have carrots. I just stick all the carrots in there. Oops, we're gonna cancel. Sorry guys, I know I was explaining something, but let me pause that so we can get this going, so this is gonna take a little while. Okay, so we have all of our stuff in there. A few other things about our quick cooker. I don't know if you heard that little sound, and then that sound again. That's telling me that it is locked. So our lid will lock close on there. I cannot take this off at this point because it's locked once I close it. But also, so I'm gonna move y'all over here so y'all can see. Let me switch you around. All right, so we have all the different dials here. We have one specifically right here for beef and pork. So I'm going to turn my little knob until it goes to beef and pork, and I'm gonna press start. Now, the little lines going around is saying that the pressure is building, and then what happens is once the pressure builds, this little section right here, this little red thing will pop up. So whenever it's popped up, you know the pressure has built. Now, what's different about ours, oops, let me fix that. What's different about our, or from what the research I've done, so if I'm wrong, please correct me so I can make sure I'm saying it correctly. But what's different about ours is there's a manual release, but the pressure when you release the steam comes out here, away from your face. There are a lot of safety features with the Pampered Chef pressure cooker. That's really great. Also, we have handles to hold well, and then the sides are not super hot. Whenever it goes to release the pressure, you can release it manually or it will release from here, but you will not be able to open this lid when this, like right now it's not popped up because the pressure's not built, and I'll show y'all later once the pressure builds, but it will not open at all if the little red thing is popped up. So when that red dot pops up, I will definitely show you. Right now it's building pressure, and then once it builds pressure, it will take 35 minutes to cook that roast. And all of the reviews that I read on this particular recipe, because it's the first time I do it, you guys are always my guinea pigs, but what I read on the reviews is that a lot of people said it was one of the most tender roasts they've ever eaten. They absolutely loved the flavor. I'll post this on my webpage, well, my Pampered Chef Facebook page. I'll post the recipe a little later for you guys. But what's great is that originally you're supposed to use the accessory bowl, and you would take the accessory bowl and you would put potatoes and chicken broth and garlic and seasoning, and you put the cover over and you put it inside with it. And so after 35 minutes, you would have not only roast and carrots done, but the mashed potatoes, you would just need to mash them, and then your whole meal would be done. So what's great about ours also is that it can come with a whole accessory kit where you can make a whole dinner at one time. So that's incredible. So this is the first live video I do with the quick cooker. I've been kind of hesitant because I'm like, I don't even know what to do once it's cooking. So I don't have the accessory kit, so I'm going to do the mashed potatoes separate. And I'm going to cook the mashed potatoes in our rice cooker plus. Is that how it's called? Rice? It's a rice cooker. And I'm going to cook it in there in the microwave. And then I'm also going to do dessert for you guys. So I already cut some potatoes just because I was fidgety trying to get some stuff together, but I'll definitely cut at least 2 potatoes for you guys. We have a vegetable peeler. I love the serrated vegetable peeler. I don't know if any of you love to peel potatoes or other veggies, but it's like my nemesis. I can't stand to sit here and just peel potatoes or carrots or whatever else, or cucumbers. I don't like it. And I used to not have a good peeler. I mean, I still don't necessarily love doing this, but this peeler, now that I have one that cuts fast and I'm not scared to cut my finger with it, and it's smooth as it cuts, it's not like jerking, I don't have to pull very hard. It definitely makes this easier. I definitely don't like it, but it does make it easier. So if you're one of those people that just want something that makes prep simpler, go ahead and get the veggie peeler. The serrated one is the one I have right here, but there's also another type that's not serrated. So I'm gonna cut these potatoes and we're gonna stick it in the rice cooker plus. Less waste too. Oh yes, less waste. Whenever you use a pressure cooker, especially if you're doing all at one time, you don't have all these extra pans and stuff. So definitely. If you guys have questions along the way, please do not hesitate to ask. I was really trying to get that in there as fast as I could because I wanted to show y'all how it worked. You rinse off these potatoes. So like I said before, this is the utility knife. I got it free with a purchase before I was ever a consultant, and it's my go-to knife. I use it pretty much for everything. So we're gonna cut these potatoes and we're gonna stick them in our rice cooker. So our rice cooker is known to obviously cook rice, but it is also known to make other things such as, well, mashed potatoes, also cakes. You can make a cake in that thing. I've never done it, but I've heard other consultants do it, and I've seen recipes, so one day I want to try it. If I ever make a cake in a microwave, I usually use the rock crop, which I have on another video if you scroll through my page. So I have potatoes in our rice cooker plus. There are 3 parts to it. You have the actual bowl. We have our boil over lid that's going to go on top, so as the liquid starts to boil, it won't go out of the container. Then we have our actual lid. I'm going to put some garlic in here too. I'm a garlic lover. And oops, I dropped a little peeling. Again, our garlic press. Got a piece of peeling on my finger. You're going to just put that clove in there, and you might be able to see it a little easier right here, but it just pops right out. And then you can take our peeling right out of there. And I'm just gonna put one more in there. All right, and that's super easy. It's simple. Now, if you ever get a peeling that gets kind of stuck in there, like this one did, you just grab that little Barbie brush like I told you about, and just pull it right out. And it's simple. You can rinse this out, and it goes in the dishwasher as well. I love anything that goes in the dishwasher. If you watch my videos, you know I talk about it all the time, because if any mamas out there, especially, well, really, just mamas, you know you got a whole lot of dishes. And sometimes people in families, I'm not gonna name names or anything, but sometimes they think they have to get a new cup every time they get something to drink. I'm not about to wash all those cups. They're going in the dishwasher. So when I use all of these gadgets to help me do, to help me do dinner faster and simpler, it might look like a lot of stuff, but it's all going in the dishwasher. It makes it a lot easier. There's also a little, the brush part of this that fits right in those holes to help clean it if needed. So, okay, we have potatoes in here, we have garlic, mix that garlic around a little bit, and I'm not gonna put water, I'm going to put chicken broth, because chicken broth makes everything tastier. And let's put about a half a cup. It's our measure-all. This thing is the mini measure-all cup. Don't quite remember. I'm gonna put a little bit more. You can do liquids on one side, and you can do solids or like pasty things on the other side by just pushing it down and putting it on this side. The red is for solids, and you just push it and wipe it off. Love these things. It's the small version. You'll see the larger version in just a second when we do dessert. Okay, so I'm gonna put my little boil over lid on there, and I'm gonna put the regular lid and snap. We're gonna put this in the microwave. I'm gonna start it at 10 minutes and see how it goes. All right, I wanna show you guys the little red, the pressure is almost completely built, but you can see the little red button is more visible now because that pressure is building. And you know that it's going to lock closed, and you don't do anything to open it because it's going to do all its goodness and cook your food super fast and delicious. So I have our roast cooking, and I have our potatoes cooking, and so I was like, what am I going to do? Like, I'm cooking all this stuff and I want to show holiday things. And so then I was like, well, I guess I can make a dessert that's no bake and simple. And when I think of dessert for the holidays, I think of trifles. And if you don't know what a trifle is, it is a dessert that has layers of some type of goodness and creamy goodness, and maybe fruit or more creamy goodness or whatever it may be. And so I'm sure you guys have had like the Oreo layered desserts before, and so I was like, well, I don't make something like that, because who doesn't love chocolate for Christmas and the holidays, and it's time where we see our families and we eat a ton of food, right? So I'm trying to get y'all out of the light here. And so I am going to make a trifle, and so I figured I would do that while that is all cooking in its goodness. Now, Pampered Chef makes a trifle bowl. I'm pretty sure they still have it. Dee, you can correct me if that's not right, because I did not purchase this. My neighbor actually gave it to me, but I'm pretty sure they still have this thing. And first of all, it's beautiful, especially if you want to put something in it and put it on your counter or your table or whatever. But what's great about it is it has a lid, and oh no, we don't have it anymore. That really stinks. Well, if you guys have this gem of a Pampered Chef item, hold on to it. Do not get rid of it. And if it ever comes back, I will make sure I tell you guys, because it's great. You have the two pieces to make it all nice and pretty, and then you put the lid on it and it goes in the refrigerator. But if you don't have a trifle bowl, any type of bowl could really work. Like we have mixing bowls, and it's not like as pretty of a shape, but you can definitely do it in a mixing bowl. And what's great about having different shaped bowls, and Pampered Chef has silicone lids that can go over bowls when you put them in the refrigerator. So if it doesn't come with a lid, you can definitely use one of those. So, that would be super good as watching this thing, right? So the Saints are playing tonight, and that's why I'm not gonna make y'all sit the entire time while waiting on the roast with me. But as soon as it comes out, I will put pictures up, because I know everyone wants to watch the Saints, and it starts like in just a little bit. So, cooking our, losing my train of thought. I have some Oreos already crushed up, because I didn't want to crush all the Oreos just in front of you guys, but I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to do that and how simple it's going to be. This is our manual food processor, and you can definitely cut veggies and things in here, like earlier I used the food chopper to cut the veggies, but you could even do it in here. And I'm going to crush up the Oreos. What I love about the manual food processor is that you can take this blade out. It also has a lid, and it can become a little container. So what's great is if I made like salsa in here, or guacamole, or something else like that, I could just take the little blade out, and it becomes the container that I'm gonna store it in my fridge. So that's less you have to deal with. So this is my lid. I'm gonna put it right on top, and our lock, we're going to switch the little button, and our little pump handle is going to come off. And I just pump the handle. Now, my brother-in-law was like, well, why would you use a manual food processor? The word manual sounds so hard. And I guess that's right. The word manual sounds difficult. But I can control how I want my crushed Oreos to be. I have an electric processor, and whenever I use that thing, I press the button twice, and it's like fine little dust crumbs. Like, it's not even, like, there's no chunks in it at all. It's super powerful. And if I want something like pureed, then yeah, I'll use that. But when I just want them crushed, or if I just want to dice up my veggies to be simply diced, then I'll use this thing, and I love it. And then you can also mix with this, like I said, salsa and guacamole and things like that. So that's our Oreos in the manual food processor, and I melted some butter in the microwave in our silicone prep bowl. I love these bowls. They come in a set of 3. This is the middle size. There's one that's like about this big. It's a 1 cup. This is a 2 cup, and then there's a 3 cup, and they have lids. So it's pretty cool because you can use them in your lunch, or you can store things in the fridge. I'm gonna pour that butter all over our cookies. But what I really like about them is when I use my stand mixer, I can control how things are going to be poured, because I can squeeze this, and so then like I can control how much flour comes out or whatever it is, so that it's not all over the place, spitting out all over. So that's my favorite thing to use it for. So the recipe I found for this is actually on Pinterest, and it has you like put it in a baking dish and flatten it out. But I was like, what fun is that? I saw on kids baking championship show one time that you can just put butter with the cookies and like mold stuff. So I was like, why don't I just do layers of the buttered cookies? I mean, what's better than that? Buttered cookies with chocolate and pudding with chocolate and more pudding with chocolate and then cream cheese and all the other goodness. So it's a man thing, definitely. Well, and he just likes to mess with me, like, why is Pampered Chef so awesome? Well, let me tell you why Pampered Chef's so awesome. So we have our cookies. We're gonna leave that on the side. I'm gonna use our classic, I can't think of the word tonight. I'm gonna use our bowl that has a handle and a lid that's really incredible to mix things in. So I'm gonna use this. We're going to mix some softened cream cheese. Come on out. And some Cool Whip. I was gonna make my own whipped cream too for you guys, but then I was like, maybe that's a little bit overachiever. Oh, you know what? I was not supposed to do this in this bowl. I was supposed to do the pudding in this bowl. I was supposed to do this in this bowl, but we'll do this. I'll mix this one in here, and I'll get another mixing bowl for that part. We're gonna put that aside so that I can do the pudding and let it set. Give me 1 second. I have another beautiful mixing bowl. Did y'all know that Godiva makes pudding mixtures? I didn't until I went to H-E-B today, and I was so excited that like I was literally like, really? Godiva? I love Godiva. They have such good quality chocolate. We're gonna put 2 pudding mixes in this bowl with some half and half instead of milk. Questions so far? If I'm talking too fast, y'all, just let me know. Sometimes I start rambling. I forget y'all are there sometimes. I'm just talking and then I have to slow down so people can follow. Okay, we have some half and half. We're gonna do 3 cups. We're gonna use our other Measure All mixing cup. It does the same thing. You have liquids with the blue numbers or solids with the red numbers, but it's larger. It goes to 2 cups instead of the 1 cup like the one we use with the broth. So we're gonna do 2 cups and then 1 to make 3. Another thing I really like about this is there's a little pouring spout, so you get more direction in your pouring. All right. So I was supposed to do this in the mixing bowl, in the classic batter bowl. That's what it's called, classic batter bowl. I was supposed to do that in there so I could put the lid on it and put it in the fridge while we did the other parts, but I got ahead of myself. This is a whisk that we have with the silicone whisk. We have 2 different types of whisk, the silicone, which you see here, and then we also have the stainless steel whisk, which I'll use in just a second. So we're gonna whisk this up, make sure it's well incorporated, and then we'll stick it in the fridge to set while we do the other parts. It's already starting to thicken up a little bit. I like using the silicone whisk for things like this because you don't hear the clanking on here. If I had 2 silicone whisks, I probably would use it for the other thing too. So you can see it's already starting to thicken up a little bit. That was half and half and Godiva chocolate pudding. I'm super excited about that. And this is also easy to clean, and pretty sure this goes in the dishwasher as well. I'm gonna stick this in the fridge real quick. Give me 1 second. All right, so now that we have that taken care of, let's go back over here. So we have our, something's dinging over there. I think my computer is going off. We have our cream cheese, and we're going to put some powdered sugar. We're gonna need a half a cup of powdered sugar. Here's our measuring cups right here that fit right into each other. I love that so that I can put them all together in our in my drawer for all my baking supplies. And also I find that the letters, like I've had these for a while now, at least a year, and they're not even close to chipping off. I've had some more like off-brand type measuring cups before, and they just chip. And then you don't know how big the cup is. You don't know how much you're putting in there. So we want a 1/2 cup of powdered sugar. We'll put this right here. All right. We're gonna mix that a little bit first. This is the stainless steel whisk. Another thing I love about the whisk is that it's no rust. And I've had other whisks before, and I like put them in the dishwasher. I don't even know if they can go in the dishwasher, but I put them in there, and they end up rusting, and it's just gross. Because then it gets in your food, and I mean, you can't do anything with it after that. You gotta throw away your food. So I really do like that about our whisk. This is the first whisk I've ever had that does not rust and drip and nasty. Okay, so I have some Cool Whip here. You can definitely make your own whipped cream if you'd like. We even have a whipped cream maker that makes, a cup of whipped cream. Super simple by pumping a handle. But I'm gonna use Cool Whip tonight. And we're just gonna whisk all that together. So our layers are gonna be our nice cookie butter mixture, this cream cheese Cool Whip mixture, and our pudding, and then even just plain Cool Whip. So we're mixing all that together. I love this handle because then I can really get a grip on what I'm mixing. I'll put my pancakes in here. I should probably use this to push this all through because my cream cheese is gonna get stuck now. But I'll do my pancake batter in here when I'm not using my pancake shaker bottle or like other batters. I mean, that's what's called the batter bowl. But there's the smaller one too. It's the baby of the batter bowl, and they both have lids, and that's what I really like. Like when we do like seafood boils and stuff like that, and we make like the seafood dip, I like to do it in that small little batter bowl. Put the lid on it, put it in the fridge, and it's the best little container. Yeah, I definitely made an F by using this. But now we know that when you have thicker things that you're mixing up, use the mixing scraper. Don't use the whisk. So, all right. Any questions so far? See something that you really like, or maybe there's something specific that you want to see that I have not shown yet, or that I didn't really have on the list to show that I can definitely show you guys. I'll make sure to make a note of it. My family's gonna eat good tonight. Yeah, normally whenever I do these videos, people are like, I want to come over. Now my neighbor, a good friend of mine, they always get the desserts because Blaine doesn't really eat dessert and I can't eat that by myself. And so their little boy's always like, did she do a video? What'd she have for dessert? All right, I hear our potatoes. So we're gonna put this aside for a second just so we can check on that and see if they need to go in there a little longer. It looks like our roast has 23 minutes left. If I finish all this before it's done, which I'm trying to go quick because I know the Saints game is coming on. But if I finish all this before it's done, I'll show it to you. If not, I'll take a picture. All right. Be careful when you take this thing out because the steam will come up and it'll burn your fingers. Speaking from experience. All right, so I think it might need a little bit longer. Some of them are still a little hard, which is okay. I'll put it in there a little longer. We'll do like 5 more minutes. Ooh, that's hot. Hot, hot, hot. All right, we'll do 5 more minutes in there. What is going on like that? I'm getting like all kind of notifications for something. Okay, so we have our cookie mixture and our other good good stuff. So we are going to start assembling that. And what I'm going to use to assemble it so I can get more of a precise like amount of everything, I'm going to use our scoopers. We have 3 different sizes of this. This is the large, and then we have the medium, and I have the small too. Let me grab it. I don't know why I didn't grab that one, but I have the small one. And you can see how they differ in size. If you are a baker, you need scoopers. Like, this is one of the perfect gifts. I think last year my sister gave like 3 people in our family all 3 scoopers, like the whole set, because when you have one size, now I use the medium the most. So if you want just one size, the medium I definitely use the most. I use it for cookies and cupcakes and things like that. But like the large one I'm going to use today, I've also used the large to measure out hamburger meat to make like sliders. The large is like the perfect size to make small little sliders. And then I've used the small to make, I've used melon balls. I've made melon balls with this, and then I've also done like little Oreo truffles for Christmas and a few other things I've used a small one for. So I've definitely used all of them, but the medium is my most used. What do you like to cook in the steamer bowls? In this, are you talking like the quick cook, the micro cookers I think you're talking about? I've done mashed potatoes in that as well, and I've also just steaming veggies like broccoli or whatever other veggies. I do corn in that. Excuse me. I do, what else do I do in that? I've actually done ground meat in that before, and made tacos. I know that sounds crazy, but I was going quick and I needed to make the taco meat, and so I just stuck it in the microwave with the micro cooker, and I made ground meat and I mixed the seasoning and made tacos, and it was really fast. So I've done all of those things before. So okay, I'm gonna put, we'll see how much this takes. Maybe 2 will be a good amount to push down. Let me push this, take this off of there. No, we need at least 1 more. We'll probably have 2 layers of this cookie mixture. And I got the double stuffed Oreos to have all the extra goodness. Okay, so we'll put this first, and then we will do the color contrast. I'm an art teacher, so I have to do the contrast and color to make sure that it looks right. I'll put it over here. And we'll put this, the white mixture. We'll use, well, I guess I can use this same scoop on top. It's like a cookies and cream. I'm excited to have this set in here. I'm actually going to use my little batter scraper to spread this out. It's smaller, so when I do a trifle, I try and get it even so that the layers look pretty. It still ends up being kind of messy, but the trifle always still is pretty. I'm gonna do 1 more scoop of that. It probably won't be a full trifle. Like I said, I kind of made this up because it's supposed to be like in a pan in your fridge. But what's the fun of that? Let me get the pudding real fast. Alright, the pudding is set. So we are going to move all this stuff out of my way. We'll use the medium to put the pudding in. So you see how the scooper, you really just can, it stays, well this is kind of thick, but you can squeeze and it releases. So that's just really great when you have dough or batter, and you can portion it out. I believe like 1 is 1 tablespoon, and then there's like 2 tablespoons and 3 tablespoons. I'm gonna use the other side of my little batter scraper so it doesn't all mix together. I need like my turntable and all to do all this. Like I said, trifles are really common for gatherings with crowds, so like holidays would be a really good thing for that. Also because you can like add all different things in here and they're pretty. You can do, if you wanted to add peppermint in here, you could. And it could be like a peppermint chocolate dessert. That would be really good. All right, we're gonna just spread all of that over. Add our white creamy mixture. What are you guys having for dinner tonight? Oh wow, I need to experiment. Like I said, I'm really experimenting with you guys tonight. Thank you for joining in with me, or if you watch the replay, I'm kind of just making things up as I go. I need another scoop of this good stuff. You know what I didn't put in here though? I was supposed to do a layer of just whipped cream. See, I get ahead of myself. Oh well, it'll be just as good. I don't need all of the whipped cream in there. I can put it just on top. Put some more of this pudding. I'm excited to see what this Godiva pudding tastes like. Do any of you guys own pressure cookers and use it? What's your favorite thing to cook in your pressure cooker? Or what do you think would be cool about having the quick cooker versus your pressure cooker? Oh, definitely just got that on my sleeve. All right. We'll put the rest of the cookie mixture on here. You know what, I'm just going to grilled steaks. Oh my God, that sounds delicious. Oh, you're having takeout. What kind of takeout? Is it Chinese? Grilled steaks sound delicious. I love ribeyes. That's my favorite kind of steak. All right, we have all the cookies done on here. I don't know how pretty our trifle is looking because I kind of smeared the chocolate all over. But hey, it doesn't really always matter what it looks like, right? It really matters what it tastes like. So we have, that's the mix and scraper we were using there. Love that thing. I actually had a customer tell me that her husband uses the mix and scrapers for a roux. And I tried it the last time I made a gumbo, and it was the perfect thing because they just scrape along the bottom of your pan and they don't have all the clacking of the stainless steel. So I really like that. Okay, so we're gonna add this in there. Like I said, I was supposed to put the whipped cream too. That's why I don't have as much of the white in with the brown. It doesn't look as pretty as it was supposed to, but that's okay. What's great about this scraper is you have like the rigid side, so you can really, I don't know, it just kind of like grabs it better, grabs the batter or whatever you're doing. And this is a small, a smooth silicone side. And so that also works very well with smoothing things out without that rigid look. Okay, we're gonna put the rest of this on there. All right. We'll smooth this out and then we'll put whipped cream on the very top. We'll just fix that part, even though you just see a bunch of chocolate on the sides here. So, hint, whenever you do it for your holiday party, make sure you are spreading it out. All right, we'll put some Cool Whip. Only 13 minutes on that roast, y'all. 7:19. So I'm about to have roast mashed potatoes, carrots, and dessert made in like 45 minutes. That's pretty slow time. All right, we're gonna put, it's still kind of frozen a little bit, but we'll put the non-frozen section on top. Spread that out. And then we'll crush up some more cookies and put it on top, and they'll at least make the top pretty. Sorry, my face is like half cut off, I didn't even realize. All right. Chicken, we had pork tendon. I'm not a huge cabbage fan, but the pork tenderloin sounds good. All right, let's do our some more crushed Oreos real fast. And then dessert will be done, and we can stick that in the fridge. I'm really sad that they don't have, I'm glad you told me, Dee, because I would have been like advertising the Super Bowl. Actually, I did. Okay, we'll crush up some more of our Oreos with our manual processor. Oh, I need a little more. We had sandwiches and chips. I had that the last 2 nights, y'all. I'm so messy. I got like stuff on my scarf. All right, so we have some Oreos. We'll stick right on top. At least the top is pretty. Nice pile of Oreos there. And we have our trifle. If you have a trifle bowl, like I said, don't get rid of that thing because it's quite incredible. The Pampered Chef trifle bowl, and it just fits right in there. And you can put your lid on it, put it in the fridge so it can set, but really pretty. We'll just stick that over here for now. So, y'all, I'm such a messy person in the kitchen. So let me check those mashed potatoes. Pretty sure they're gonna be done now. I don't know what I did with my fork. Oh yeah, they're done. They are done. Let me grab my fork and add a little extra juice. I'm going to use our mesh strainer to just strain that real fast. And I do not have the masher, but a few of you have said your favorite product is this bad boy, and I love this thing because not only can you like smash up your meat whenever you have ground meat and sausage and things that you want to crumble when you're cooking it, but it mashes other things including potatoes. And so this is my new potato masher. I got rid of my other one that I had, and I'm just going to use this thing. So it's kind of hard to do it and show you at the same time, but pretty much what I'm doing is I'm pushing down and I'm twisting at the same time, and it's going to start mashing up my potatoes, and these potatoes smell so good. They smell really good. I can smell that garlic in them. And I'm going to put just a little half and half in there. Ooh, that was a lot more than a little bit. It kind of just spilled out there, but it'll suck it all up. So we're gonna put some half and half in there. And I'm gonna put some salt and pepper. I don't wanna put too much salt because if you remember, I used the chicken broth. And you can see it's really mashing up and mixing them. Man, I can't think of my names tonight of all my products. I'm such a terrible consultant. I love this thing though because you can really mash it, mix it, and look at that. We have mashed potatoes. And so our mashed potatoes are done. Our roast has 8 minutes left, but it has to release pressure, which will take 10 minutes. So when you put together the time it took to sear, it took me 10 minutes to sear it, and then I put the onions in there, and that was like 3 minutes to put all that part. Oh yeah, Parmesan cheese would be good too. That's a great idea. I might put some on there. That's a good idea. So bunny trail, sorry. So the roast, it took about 10 minutes to sear it, and then the pressure builds. It took about 5 minutes for that, and then it takes 30 to 35 minutes for it to cook. So help me with my math. That's 35, then 45, and 50. So somewhere around an hour to cook a 2.5 pound roast in the pressure cooker versus like 8 to 10 hours in your slow cooker. So I was able to come home from a very busy day and prep some of my things and then get on here with you guys at 6:30 and start that roast, and it's almost finished. Make mashed potatoes, which if you have the accessory kit, you can definitely do it all at the same time and not have to worry about it. You stick it in there, go do your thing, take a shower, bathe the kids or whatever it may be, and you just let it cook. And so, excuse me, I made the roast and the carrots and then now the mashed potatoes in about an hour, give or take a few minutes. And so once that roast is done, I'm going to post a picture for you guys. I'm not gonna make y'all sit on here for like another 6 minutes, then a few minutes for it to release. And then I also made dessert. Like, I didn't have to make dessert tonight. I wanted to do something to show you guys more products, and just to give you an idea for the holidays. If you're in my parties right now, it's all about holidays. If you want to be in the party and see stuff about holidays or gift ideas or whatever it may be, we have gifts that could be for women, men, kids. And it's someone who loves the kitchen or someone who doesn't like the kitchen and wants to be in and out of the kitchen faster, or college kids or whoever. We definitely have products that can help them, that you may want to give for Christmas, or maybe a Pampered Chef product for yourself and pamper yourself for Christmas. But we have a ton of things. And so in the party, I'm talking about holidays, and so I wanted to kind of give the idea of how you can make an easy holiday meal. Now, one last thing about the quick cooker, my sister's neighbor, she told me, made an entire turkey in her pressure cooker for Thanksgiving, or maybe it was after Thanksgiving for whatever they were doing together, but she said it was delicious. And so she made her turkey in the pressure cooker, and she stuck it under the broiler to get brown, and she said it was delicious. So the pressure cooker can do so much. It's like this, I know it's not new because a lot of people have been using it for a while, but for me, it's like this brand new thing, and I absolutely love it. And being a busy mom, coming and just throwing things in that pressure cooker in an hour, I can get a whole meal. It's just incredible. So I wanted to share that with you guys tonight. Thank you so much for watching. If there are any questions, please ask. I can answer them once I see those comments. And if you're watching the replay, ask those questions, because I definitely can answer them if you have any questions about even products you've had before, you have now, or products that you want, or wish lists, or gifts, or whatever. And then also, if you're in the parties or on my business page and you would like to host a party to get your own shopping spree Pampered Chef, I have some great deals coming up. So send me a message and I could definitely help you with that. Thank you so much, Leanne. So thank you guys for watching and enduring my bunny trails of conversations tonight. Go watch the Saints game, enjoy your family, enjoy your dinner, and you guys have a great rest of your week. Love y'all, and I'll see y'all next time. Good